Now coming to acute suppurative otitis media or acute otitis media. So acute infection in the middle ear cavity. Otitis means infection in the middle ear. Media means middle ear cavity. So acute infection in the middle ear cavity. So in basic anatomy we know that the middle ear cavity, the anterior wall especially, is connected to the nasopharyngeal end, the nasopharynx. Lateral part of the nasopharynx, there is a opening which is known as eustachian elevation, eustachian tube. So this is the eustachian tube which connects the anterior wall of the middle ear cavity to the nasopharynx, and it equalizes the pressure. Since middle ear cavity is air filled, so it equalizes the pressure between the middle ear cavity and the nasopharynx. So if any occlusion in the nasopharynx is there, then the eustachian tube will be closed and all the pressure gets absorbed and leading to a negative pressure and tympanic membrane retraction, and the pus will slowly go and fill the middle ear cavity. The middle ear mucosa will inflamed. So this is acute otitis media. So recurrent attack of the common cold, upper respiratory tract infection, exanthematous fever like measles, mumps, chronic rhinosinusitis or tumor in the nasopharynx like angiofibroma or any nasopharyngeal carcinoma, any adenoid tonsillitis, which is specially seen in the children. Now, basically the organism which is involved is Streptococcus pneumoniae, which causes the infection. Then the second most common organism is Haemophilus influenzae, and third most is Moraxella catarrhalis. Now this is one of the spread. Other spread is through the blood or direct, and another spread can be through the ear canal, external auditory canal. So through the eustachian tube there is a recurrent attack of infection. Now there is a edema and hyperemia of the nasopharyngeal end of the eustachian tube. There will be redness, hyperemia, edema of the eustachian tube, leading to the blockage of the eustachian tube and absorption of all the pressure, as I have told, that creating a negative pressure in the infratympanic part, leading to retraction of the tympanic membrane and effusion of the middle ear. Retraction of the tympanic membrane and effusion of the middle ear. So prolonged tubal occlusion leads to the hyperemia and congestion of the tympanic membrane, hyperemia of the middle ear mucosa. Pars tensa will be congested. Red velvety appearance on examination we will find. Since there is a hyperemia, the blood vessels runs radially in the tympanic membrane, so cartwheel appearance will be there due to lesions of blood vessels. So in the stage of the presuppuration, so this is the stage of the tubal occlusion, this is the stage of presuppuration, patient will complain of earache, throbbing, which is throbbing in nature, deafness and tinnitus. Now coming to the prolong, if there is a pus, so slowly the pus will fill up in the middle ear and the mastoid ear cell in the same extent. So there will be bulging of the tympanic membrane and rupture due to the pressure effect of the pus in the anterior-inferior quadrant of the tympanic membrane. So due to the pressure, the pus comes out and the patient complains of ear discharge, vomiting, fever. So this is known as pulsatile otorrhea or lighthouse sign. Then it can be resolved by treating with antibiotics as early as possible, painkillers, or it can create some complication. What are the complications? It can go to form chronic suppurative otitis media, or it can be any other complication like acute mastoiditis, petrositis, facial nerve palsy, labyrinthitis. So it can leads to the complication. So I have to manage. We have to resolve this case. Resolution should be there. So what is the treatment? So there is no surgical treatment, but we have to do some medical treatment like antibiotics which can be given as a drops, ear drop, or we can give antibiotics against streptococcus, oral antibiotic like amoxicillin, amoxiclav, cefuroxime, ceftazidime, like these antibiotics. Nasal decongestant, since I have found that there is a edema and hyperemia in the nasopharyngeal end, so this edema leads to the blockage of the eustachian tube. So we have to reduce this edema by giving the nasal decongestant or oral decongestant, antihistaminics, either by drops or oral tablets. Thirdly, we can give anti pain, that is an analgesic, antipyretics, antihistaminics. If it is not cured by any medication, then I have to open the tympanic membrane. So this is known as myringotomy. So I can do myringotomy as a surgical procedure, but when I will have to do, if there is a pain in the tympanic membrane, red bulging tympanic membrane, persistent effusion greater than 12 weeks, persistent effusion with facial nerve palsy, because facial nerve will be compressed. Sometimes in 50% cases there is a congenital dehiscence of the fallopian canal, so there is a constant nerve palsy. So you have to decompress the nerve by myringotomy. So in ASOM we have to give a J-shaped incision in the posterior inferior quadrant. In the posterior inferior quadrant we have to give the J-shaped incision, and we have to suck out all the materials, all the pus, all the debris from the middle ear cavity. This is known as myringotomy. Now coming to acute necrotizing otitis media. It is mainly caused by beta hemolytic streptococcus. So children with measles, scarlet fever, influenza have associated with acute necrotizing otitis media. Here there is a destruction of the whole tympanic membrane along with the annulus and promontory, mucosa of the promontory, ossicular chains are destroyed, mastoid air cells are destroyed, profuse otorrhea, healed by fibrosis, secondary acquired cholesteatoma, that means from the fibrosis. So there is a total perforation, or there can be a marginal perforation which can lead to secondary. So marginal perforation which will lead to secondary acute cholesteatoma. So treatment is antibiotic therapy for 7 to 10 days. After, if antibiotic therapy the patient is not cured, then we have to do cortical mastoidectomy. We have to do cortical mastoidectomy. So this is all about acute otitis media and acute necrotizing otitis media. Next lecture I will talk about otitis media with effusion or serous otitis media. Thank you.